It is another underwater search for a man who's been missing for 4 years after he disappeared on Laurel Lake.
With Memorial Day a little over a month away, it's crunch time for Lee's Ford Marina in Pulaski County.
A prominent Lexington restaurant is shutting down. The owner talks to us about the difficult decision to close the doors.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Our Tuesday starting off really beautiful, but the weather is changing.
We have showers and storms popping up around the area. We begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, who is tracking it all for you right now. Chris?
Yeah, getting busy right now. As expected, we talked about a stormy pattern taking shape. Here it is, folks. Severe thunderstorm watch out for areas to our west. That includes Louisville, E-Town, back toward Owensboro and into parts of Indiana and Illinois. Will that be expanded farther to the east? We will have to wait and see. But right now, we're talking about some very strong thunderstorms north of the I-64 corridor. Let's take you in on your Defender Radar Network. Lexington Metro, a little bit of light action that has been noted from time to time. On the east side of town, a few sprinkles. Had a little thunder and lightning at one point early this afternoon. Now let's go into northern parts of Harrison County, toward Williamstown, the Owenton area, and back toward Newcastle. Slow-moving thunderstorms here, putting down some very heavy rains, pea-sized hail, a lot of lightning with that as well. And you're seeing the strongest storm that is around the Newcastle area, where Defender is tracking that as a hail producer. And over the next hour, if that holds together, northern parts of Franklin County, the cone would take it in there in about 1 hour. We go into 3D Defender mode. And look at all the little individual thunderstorms that are very similar to one another. Notice how they're spiking up, and you will get these to pulse up really high into the atmosphere. Then all of a sudden, those will collapse a little bit. And we go all the way back into southern Indiana. Look at the storms that are lined up, ready to work their way eastbound along that 64 corridor, with a bigger complex of storms coming out of the St. Louis area. This is just the first of several waves of showers and thunderstorms that we will be tracking over the next few days. Guys, we'll continue to watch those storms and let you know if any of them goes at least stronger or even locally severe.
We know you will, Chris. Thank you. A search team returned to a southern Kentucky lake today to try and find a missing man.
Clarence Holmes disappeared nearly 4 years ago while helping other boaters during a storm at Laurel Lake. The crew believes there is some new evidence pointing to where Holmes might be. Phil Pendleton was there for today's search. It's our top story at 5.
Underwater teams have been looking for Clarence Holmes multiple times over the last couple of years. He disappeared 4 years ago, but a crew from Louisiana believes they have pinpointed a specific area where they are very optimistic they may finally find something and bring a family some closure.
And that's the tree that we've...
It is another look in the deep, dark, tree-filled waters of Laurel Lake and a specialized dive team from Louisiana.
We were looking for a specific tree and a group of trees down there that we obtained some video images back in July of last year.
Michoud believes the tree may be large enough to hold human remains. Divers are on their way to visually inspect the tree in the pitch black, cold water.
It has a resemblance that it could possibly be human remains. It's coming up on 4 years now, so a lot of things have changed and happened from the time that Clarence went overboard.
The tree is 60 feet tall, possibly an oak tree that is 120 feet down from the water's surface.
If there is bones or a skull or a watch or anything that could identify Clarence that could easily be removed at this point, we've already been given the okay. If you get something, bring it up.
And this crew says they're very optimistic based on what those sonar images are showing them. But they say even if this search, which could last up to a couple of days, turns up nothing, they will come back. They will not give up in their search for Clarence Holmes. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Holmes disappeared on July 5th, 2012. Police investigated, but foul play was not suspected.
It is taking some extra work for a southern Kentucky marina to get ready for the summer.
Back in January, a winter storm caused extensive damage to Lee's Ford Marina in Pulaski County. New at 5, WKYT's Mike Linden shows us how crews are working around the clock to get the repairs done by Memorial Day weekend.
Nothing can prepare you for, a once-in-a-lifetime storm like what occurred.
Earlier this year,
Ice, heavy snow, and wind caused major damage to more than 3 acres worth of docks at Lee's Ford Marina in Pulaski County.
We just never had such a rapid accumulation with a wind shear on top of that. You know, it was just a combination of things.
Hamilton says it's the worst and most expensive damage he's seen in his 12 years of owning the docks.
I'd estimate it was about probably about $4 million. That was off the top of my head. Looks like it's going to be about 3.8.
With Memorial Day fast approaching, he says it's crunch time to replace the damaged docks.
Hamilton says it's taken a lot of hard work to get back to where they are right now. This dock next to me here has nearly 10 miles of wiring installed, and there's still some work to be done. It still needs a roof.
Despite the time crunch, lead contractor Steve Johnson says they're on pace to finish on time.
7 days a week, usually 12 hours a day, trying to get this project in for everybody by Memorial Day weekend.
Even with the new and improved structures in place, Johnson says there's always one thing to keep in mind when on the job.
Or no matter how well established it is, Mother Nature can always throw something that will take out everybody's engineering.
In Pulaski County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Hamilton says the only thing that could delay construction is the same thing that caused all the damage: the weather.
A unique Lexington restaurant is now closed. Coba Casino on Richmond Road shut down after dinner last night. The restaurant was known for having a jellyfish tank inside. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to the owners about the decision to shut the doors for good.
Coba Casino was open here for 3 years, but the restaurant's owner says when it came down to it, they just couldn't overcome the losses. This sign is now covered, and a flyer on the door tells would-be customers the bad news. Lee Greer, president of Greer Companies, which owns Coba and several other restaurants, says closing the restaurant made today one of the toughest days of his career. He says they were able to offer severance packages to Coba employees and also encourage them to apply for jobs at the other restaurants his company owns.
I'd really like to say thank you to all of our guests, especially our team members and our people that worked at Coba that made it such a special place. It's somewhat of a mystery to me. I love Coba. I personally put up against anybody in the world for the food and the ambiance and the service, and especially at the price. It was, to me, a very special place, and maybe there's some magic left in the formula. We'll bring it back again.
One of the things the restaurant here was known for was its jellyfish tanks inside. So what happens to those jellyfish now? Find out on WKYT at 6. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And by the way, if you have a Coba Casino gift card, you can still use it at the 2 Cheddar's locations in Lexington or Willie's locally known.
Investigators have identified a woman found dead after a fire as the sister of a state representative. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Boyd County. Investigators say that 59-year-old Melanie Stinnet's roommate found her unresponsive yesterday morning after a smoke detector woke her up. Stinnet's brother is Kevin Stinnett, who represents Boyd County. He described his sister as genuine and always there for the family. The cause of the fire is under investigation. In Grant County, the state has approved $18 million in tax incentives for the Ark Encounter theme park. The Kentucky Tourism Development Finance Authority approved the application from Answer and Genesis yesterday. The Courier-Journal reports it was 7-0, the vote with 2 members absent.
More than 500 delegates are at stake as voters in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, Connecticut, and Rhode Island go to the polls today. While Donald Trump is expected to win all 5 states, his opponents continue to move forward with a plan to stop him. Weijia Jiang has more now from Philadelphia.
Voters in 5 states are playing key roles in the presidential race today, especially on the Republican side. Frontrunner Donald Trump says it's time for his challengers to go.
They ought to both drop out of the race, so we ought to unify the Republican Party.
Polls suggest Trump will win all of Tuesday's contests. Rivals Ted Cruz and John Kasich made an unconventional pact to slow Trump's momentum. Kasich won't compete in Indiana, the next state to vote.
If you don't want to see Hillary Clinton as the president, and nominating Donald Trump ensures that Hillary Clinton wins the general, then I would ask Governor Kasich's supporters to stand with us.
The latest CBS News battleground tracker shows Trump with a 5-point lead over Cruz. In the Democratic race today, Hillary Clinton is the favorite to win. She'll spend the night here in Philadelphia waiting for results. But first, Clinton made a quick trip to Indiana to meet with workers at a steel company.
Steel is crucial to our manufacturing base, crucial to our national security, and I will not let this vital industry disappear.
Bernie Sanders spent the morning meeting voters in Philadelphia. He says he plans to stay in the race until the convention returns to Philly this summer. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Sanders says he wants a strong voice on the Democratic Party platform at the convention in order to push issues important to him, such as breaking up the big banks and eliminating income inequality. New details today in the murders of 8 family members who law enforcement thinks could be responsible.
Mannequins helping improve care in hospitals, how they're being used to train nurses in better living.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Showers and thunderstorms rumbling across the Bluegrass State, packing quite a punch right now. A lot of small hail reports coming out of the northern half of the region. Thunder, lightning, heavy rains, maybe some strong winds. Let's get after it. Look at our live sky cams from across the region. Storm tracking cams. Campton, Jackson in pretty good shape. Jackson, you had a thunderstorm a little bit ago. Lexington noticed a little shower trying to pop into the downtown area. Florence okay for the moment, though back to the west toward Louisville. We've had some hail producing thunderstorms here and a severe thunderstorm not too far away from Florence. The air is juicy, low 80s right now. We said we were going to flip into summer quickly, and here we go with the severe thunderstorm watch for areas just to our west, though we're getting severe thunderstorm warnings well outside of that severe thunderstorm watch. Shocker, shocker. We go into the Defender Radar Network now. Across the Lexington area, a light shower here or there. Now let's get into northern parts of the region. Small hail likely to come from these storms from Mount Olivet, Robertson County, through parts of the northern half of Harrison County, up around Berry, Highway 27, and toward the Corinth area, up toward Williamstown. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued, by the way, for Henry County. That includes areas to the east of Newcastle, and that goes into southern parts of Owen County now, as well as that thunderstorm is going to try to move into the northern part of Franklin County coming up over the next half hour to 45 minutes. It's a slow mover. It has some hail with it, and it could cause some local high water issues. Another strong thunderstorm right on top of Louisville. Scattering of storms west of that. Then we start to see the bigger cluster of storms rolling to the east across southern parts of Illinois as of now. And here we go in the stalled out front. Anytime you see a front like this, you get these thunderstorms to develop one right after another. They like to follow the train tracks, if you will. That would be that front. Greatest threat tonight into tomorrow would be from hail. We're getting a lot of hail reports. Got to watch the high water issues as well. Tornado threat is fairly low in this type of an environment, at least locally. Computer model, he says, RPM, rainfall forecast trying to really hit at some of those higher totals in thunderstorms. But if you know anything about computer models and thunderstorms don't get along very well, so you're going to see big jumps in what a computer model suggests will happen from run to run because they don't like thunderstorms too well. 7-day forecast. Well, if you don't like thunderstorms, you're probably going to have to pack it up and leave. With a daily threat for some showers and storms tomorrow, then again on Thursday, maybe a break on Friday, more storms this weekend. We'll turn a little cooler as we go into Kentucky Derby week.
You going to the Pearl Jam concert by any chance?
I'm going to have to sit that one out.
Me too.
I'm going to have to miss that one.
All right, thanks.
A couple of things happening this afternoon, including a crash on Richmond Road between Fontaine and Lakeshore. Now, in addition to that, there are 2 collisions downtown. Just talking about the concert, one of those crashes earlier on North Broadway was impacting us, but we're still dealing with that around Rupp Arena this afternoon. And the crash on the Circle, it's on the outer loop at Old Frankfort Pike. We're seeing traffic back up all the way to Georgetown to clear that. Drive times, if we look at Paris, we're okay. Paris Pike looks good. No major issues headed toward Winchester on 64. Now back to you in the studio.
Well, a lot of people are heading to Pearl Jam. That concert is tonight. The reason why all of these people are lined up hours, even days in advance for that concert.
A private trash hauling company wants to use an empty Lexington recycling area as a transfer station. People living nearby aren't very happy about it. How they're fighting the plan on WKYT News coming up at 5:30. CBS News has learned investigators are looking into the possibility a Mexican drug cartel is behind the murders of 8 family members. No arrests have been made in the case out of Piketon, Ohio, 100 miles east of Cincinnati. Now, today, the coroner revealed that 7 of the victims were shot multiple times. Investigators have interviewed more than 60 people, including friends of the victims.
I really want people to know that I really had nothing to do with it and that these were also friends of mine.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS they found about 200 marijuana plants at indoor grow operations in some of the victims' homes. They estimate the street value at nearly $500,000.
Prince's sister is asking a Minnesota court to appoint a special administrator to oversee his estate. Tyka Nelson says her brother had no will. While Nelson is Prince's only surviving full sibling, the court papers list 5 half-siblings. In her filing, Nelson says immediate action is needed to manage Prince's business interests. Minnesota's top probate lawyer says resolving Prince's estate could get complicated if the siblings can't agree on how to split it. Former Cleveland Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel faces criminal charges. A Texas grand jury indicted him on an assault charge after his ex-girlfriend accused him of domestic violence. Dallas police say the woman told them Manziel hit her several times and threatened to kill her. The Browns cut Manziel last month. 2 agents and all of his endorsers have dropped him.
An estimated 16,000 people will pack Rupp Arena tonight to see Pearl Jam. Check out this line of people already waiting outside. The doors open at 6:30. The concert starts at 8. These fans are waiting for general admission seating on the floor. The first one arrived at 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Another man we talked to arrived before sunrise Monday.
If I got an opportunity to be in the pit in the front, I want to try to be up on the rail, obviously, if I can. And if you want to be on the rail, you got to get here early.
There you go. Fans will have to go through new security measures. All of Rupp Arena's 30 new stand-up metal detectors will be up and running tonight, the first time since they were installed. A veteran center helping arrange a proper goodbye to a veteran with little family. How distant relatives, center staff, and even strangers paid tribute to the man on WKYT News at 5:30.
It is a terrifying situation for parents, but experts now say episodes where your baby turns blue might not be cause for concern, and how mannequins are making a difference in training nurses. Those stories next in Better Living. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. It can be terrifying for parents, but experts say moments where babies turn blue, breathe irregularly, or don't respond to touch might not be cause for alarm. The American Academy of Pediatrics is now defining the episodes as brief, resolved, unexplained events, or BREW. Doctors say a BREW lasts less than a minute and resolves on its own. Although the term is meant to reassure parents, a doctor should still examine a baby following a BREW episode. The events were renamed because they were once thought to be precursors to sudden infant death syndrome, but research has since determined that is not the case. Rice cereal is a popular choice for babies' first foods, but a new study found it can increase arsenic levels in babies. Researchers found infants fed rice-based foods had higher levels of arsenic in their urine than babies who never eat rice. The FDA says arsenic is a known carcinogen and can contribute to heart disease. Experts say it's unclear what effect the level of arsenic found in the babies can have on their health. When you think of mannequins, displays in department stores might come to mind, but there's a high-tech version helping better train the people who care for you in the hospital. Mike Householder shows us the new way to educate nurses.
In a life or death situation, nurses need to think quickly and act decisively. Mistakes can be costly.
Time of death, 10:44.
Fortunately, everyone here, including the patients, get a second chance.
Okay, good. Stop.
The University of Michigan's nursing school uses high-tech mannequins to simulate real-life medical situations.
We can't have them making mistakes in the clinical area. We can allow them to completely go through things here.
Keep going.
Things such as uncontrolled bleeding, vomiting, even childbirth.
Strong push.
While simulation training isn't new, Michigan has dedicated specialists who run the sims at the school's Clinical Learning Center.
We are probably one of the top schools in doing the simulation the way that we do it.
That includes requiring all undergraduates to take part in sims and having a separate control room for each sim lab.
All right, guys, I'm ready when you are.
Which is where Maureen Westphal and other instructors wirelessly control the mannequins from behind a one-way mirror.
I think the realism is actually quite remarkable.
Westphal even gives the patients a voice.
Oh, great. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the baby is...
It's all part of an effort to put students on the spot.
They're somewhat intimidating, the things that some of these mannequins can do, but it's also really helpful because they could stimulate a lot of real-life issues that we might not be able to see at the hospital.
Any thought?
And when the sim ends, there's an immediate debrief.
Wouldn't life be so great if we could debrief after every time we go through something at any job that we've had, just to critically think about what we could have done different or better?
Mrs. Sanchez?
Mom?
Mrs. Sanchez?
Oh my God, what's happening?
But students don't have long to reflect, because another medical emergency is always right around the corner. Mike Householder, Associated Press, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
All right, now here's what's coming up for you at 5:30.